So my name is Calla Smith. I'm the team lead for our enablement team here at Litify. This is my colleague Jackie. Would you like to say what you do?
Yeah, sorry. I'm the Litify Community Administrator. I basically build it, and if it breaks, I fix it.
So she's very valuable. We're here to talk about our Litify Community, which hopefully most of you are already on. Just to look at our agenda today, first, we're going to talk a bit about the present-day community, what features exist now, as well as the genesis of the community, why we started this project. We're going to give you a peek at our roadmap, some of the things we'll be implementing in the days to come. And then to cap it all off, I'm going to talk a little bit about engagement and adoption and how the Litify community can address a lot of those needs. And then we'll have time for a brief Q&A if anyone has any questions.
Okay, so hey everyone, I wanted to get started by talking a little bit about the community as it is today and where it came from. As you may know, we launched the community in early June, but the concept and planning came much earlier. We actually started in the fall of last year. The solution that we had at the time offered support and knowledge, but it didn't really offer any other way for our customers to interact directly with us or with each other. We felt that element of collaboration was really important, so we started looking at other options. Since Litify is built on Salesforce, and Salesforce plays a pretty huge part in what we do all day, every day, we felt that we would be better served by bringing it all back in-house. A Salesforce community offers that unified experience that we were looking for, bringing together a knowledge base, support portal, and the possibility of a more open line of communication and collaboration, both customer to customer and customer to Litify. The community today offers several outlets for self-service. Since collaboration was a big driver and why we decided to launch the community, we wanted to offer multiple ways for users to connect with each other and with us. We have community groups, which is where most of our conversation takes place. That is where you'll see discussion threads ranging from troubleshooting questions to thoughtful discussions about best practices and integration selection. We offer both public and private groups, including our admins group, which is only for Litify admins, and our partner group, where Litify implementation partners can discuss these issues that are relevant to them. Users can also comment directly on knowledge articles or click into a topic page and post their question directly on a topic, such as Docrio or Matters. You can tag users as well if you want their insight on a particular question. We recently started feeding all of these questions into a Litify Slack channel to make it easier for our internal SMEs to see the conversations happening in the community and offer their insights. Knowledge and support are also major components of the community. We brought our knowledge base into the community where you can find everything ranging from product deep dives to best practices to troubleshooting guides for specific Litify issues. Our support tab is now available only to firm admins to streamline the support process. With our new support portal, you can request support, view the progress of your ticket and add comments, and view a history of past support cases. Users of LSAP will see a similar experience in the LSAP tab, where you can file tickets, view a history of your LSAP requests, and see your current utilization. We have a few highlights to share. Since our launch in June, we've grown to 904 users who have posted nearly 400 posts and comments, and we have 929 published knowledge articles. All of this is easily searchable in the search box at the top of the page, which means that all the conversations that we're having today can continue to serve future customers who may have similar questions. And now that we have talked about the community today, I'm going to jump into a live demo of the current community. I'll be using my demo user who is set up as a Litify customer admin. So when you first land on the community homepage, you'll see the navigation bar at the top, and what you see there depends on your role with your firm and within the community. Since I'm set up as a customer administrator, I can see the support tab, but users who are not admins will only see the home, knowledge, collaborate, and learn tabs. If I were an LSAP user, there would be an LSAP tab here, and if I were a Litify implementation partner, I would have a partners tab. On the home page, We have announcements as well as a quick getting started section for new users. And you'll also see our leaderboard, which I'll talk more about once we get to the Collaborate section. We also have the search function that I was just talking about, and that's available on every page. In our Knowledge tab, we have tiles for our our core products and trending articles. And we've recently rolled out an article suggestion form. So if you aren't finding the article that you're looking for, you can suggest it to us, and the suggestion will go directly to our Knowledge team. When you click into a topic page, you'll be able to see all of the articles related to that topic and the discussions that are related to that topic. You can ask a question, and if it's something of particular interest, you can also follow to receive updates when new questions and new articles are added. The Collaborate section is where most of the activity takes place. The feed that you see in the center of the page is actually the feed coming from our Litify Community group, and this is accessible to all members of the community. So don't be fooled by the 135 members that it mentions there. Those are just the people who have selected to join that group and receive updates, but everyone can see and participate in this feed. We do have private groups, like I mentioned, the admins group, and even though I am an admin, I don't have access to this group yet because I haven't joined. So if you are an admin and you'd like to get into this group, just click the Ask to Join button and we will add you. Back to the Collaborate page, we have our community activity leaderboard where you can see the top community users and the points that they have accumulated. Those points come from the activity that takes place here in this section. When you post a question or an update, when you comment, upvote, or your answer is marked as the best answer, those all contribute to the points that you receive that help you climb this leaderboard. As you can see, I have not contributed much under this demo user, so I am at the bottom. And back to the support tab.
Awesome, thank you.
This is where support tickets will be filed. And this little section here with articles is actually dynamic based on the topic of your ticket. So, for example, if you were having troubleshooting issues with Inbox and you type that in and click out, this will automatically populate articles that the algorithm thinks could be relevant, which can be really helpful for self-serving your own issues. To keep up with your cases, at the bottom we have the list views. We have your open and closed cases. You can also look at the open and closed cases filed by others in your firm. And the last tab will actually take you right into the Litify Learning Hub. I'm already registered and logged in, so it just took me directly into it. But if you weren't logged in or if you're not registered, it would take you to the login page where you could create an account or log in. And in the Learning Hub, we have our self-paced e-learning courses. These are free for all users. And within these courses, we've recently added a new type of lesson which allows you to actually click through the activities themselves. And I'm just going to show that for a moment. So as you are learning, you can do hands-on activities, which was a big request that we received from a lot of users. These activities can also be viewed as a video, and they can be printed as a step-by-step PDF. So if you have someone who would like to keep this as like a quick reference guide, they can easily print it out. And okay, I think we are ready to go back to the deck now.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, just one moment. Okay, so now that we've seen the community as it is today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the roadmap and what we have coming up. Knowledge in its current state can be a little hard to navigate. As you saw, we have our core products listed as tiles, but if you really wanted to get granular with it and see, for example, just Docrio troubleshooting, you would have to use the search function. We intend to I lost my place. We intend to revamp our knowledge navigation with a more detailed topic menu that allows users to hone in more easily on the specific knowledge topics that they're seeking. We also intend to redesign the knowledge tab and provide easy one-click access to product guides and getting started guides to help new Litify users get comfortable with the product. And as for that last bullet point, we've already rolled out our article request form, so we can move that from roadmap to delivered, and I'm really excited to hear directly from everyone what we can do to make knowledge more robust. The next improvement that we have slated for upcoming is Litify Ideas. I know that more transparency into our product roadmap has been a request from customers for a long time. With the launch of Litify Ideas, our users will have the opportunity to directly impact our roadmap going forward by sharing their ideas for product enhancements. Ideas is modeled on Salesforce Ideas, if you're familiar with those, and you can submit new ideas and view, comment, and upvote ideas that have already been submitted. When an idea is selected by the product team, it will be updated, allowing you to track the status as it moves into development and is eventually delivered. Our product team can also comment on ideas and share more insight into why they selected certain ideas and what goes into our development process. Our leaderboard will be changing slightly to display your rank as well as the points that you've accumulated. The more that you participate by upvoting, asking, and answering questions, the more quickly you'll climb the leaderboard and gain new ranks. We will be offering a rewards program with cool Litify swag and prizes for users who reach certain ranks, and top contributors will also be recognized at events like LitiQuest. Finally, the leaderboard offers more than just a listing. You can click on a user and see the contributions they've made, award badges, and if you find their posts really insightful or helpful, you can follow them to get updates when they create new posts. And this is one of our upcoming improvements that I'm really excited about, and probably also the most technically difficult for us. So I've been watching the new Lord of the Rings show, and when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to kick this slide off, the only thing that I could think about was the ring verse. One sign-in to rule them all, one sign-in to find them. But that is a pretty apt description of single sign-on. With SSO, we want to solve a few problems at once. One being that we have way too many logins to remember. A login to Litify, a login to the community, a login to the Learning Hub. That's 3 separate logins for what should be one seamless experience. And the second that we want to solve is to roll the community out to all of our users. Right now, we have a fairly small group of customers and partners in there, but we want every Litify user in your firm to be able to access and participate. We intend to offer a single sign-on solution that allows you to use your Litify login to access the community and the Learning Hub. No more separate passwords to remember. And along with that, new users will automatically be provisioned into the community when they click the SSO link and log in with their Litify username and password. That means that on day 1, they'll be able to jump right into our documentation and learning modules. This is going to be a big project, so I can't give a precise timeline for when we'll be rolling it out. But in the meantime, we do still want to give your users access. So if you'd like to get them signed up and set up in the community, just reach out to your CSM and we can get the ball rolling on that.
I'll give Jackie a break and talk a little bit about this next piece. We are in the process in the enablement team of developing live trainings that will be offered regularly, virtually, so via Zoom, accessible to everyone. You might be familiar with some of our current offerings if you ever attended a Litify Connections webinar. That's usually geared towards end users or admins in smaller firms. We also, just this quarter in Q3, started rolling out a partner and employee configuration-focused training program. It's been really successful so far, and our next step is to make this resource available to all our customers as well. Just to give you a sense of this roadmap, so this will be a very hands-on, configuration-based training. All users will be provisioned with a demo environment which will give them a chance, a safe space to try out new things, make mistakes, learn alongside their peers in this live training environment. Really, the focus and the idea behind this on-demand training offerings is to get Litify admins, many of whom don't necessarily have a strong Salesforce background, to start thinking about the art of the possible, which is a phrase we use a lot when we're talking about training, introducing people to the platform, particularly admins who are really responsible for maintaining an organization. We see this as a really great way to ramp up some newer admins who might be a little less familiar with Salesforce or Litify, as well as expose admins who are already pretty proficient to some new ideas and thoughts. In the end, these trainings will culminate in a certification, which will sync directly to your community profile. So again, just sort of bringing everything all together and adding a bit more transparency and visibility in the community across the database of people that you are going to be collaborating with. And this is really just to help you continue to upskill your resources. All right, so I'm going to wax poetic a little bit about how you can use the community to engage and empower your users. And I'm going to start off by just kind of posing a challenge that I'm sure everyone here has faced. It's pretty evergreen, regardless of what industry you might be in, but certainly applicable to folks using Litify, which is how do I get all of my users from the top to bottom to really engage with and adopt this platform we're using. Moving to Litify is a really big transition, right? And a lot of the work that my team does specifically, whether a client is new to Litify or they've been using the system for a while, is how to drum up enthusiasm and drive adoption down to the last end user. Because Litify is not cheap, and we want to do everything we can to help you get the most out of this investment so that your employees are using the system effectively as possible. What we found to be the case across the board is that users really need to feel a sense of empowerment on the system they're using. And when I say empowerment, I'm really talking about three things here. We want users to feel as though they have a say in the system, they have insight into the system, and they have confidence in it. And these three feelings are really key company-wide. And to kind of illustrate my point, I'm going to give you a bit of a personal anecdote. My first introduction to Salesforce as a platform was as an end user. I was working at a company, and the powers that be decided that we were going to migrate to Salesforce. And it was a pretty terrible implementation experience because we had no say in anything that was happening. There was no user acceptance testing. There was no questioning or talking to end users to see what our jobs day-to-day were like and how we can best make this system support those processes. So this made the actual day-to-day, once we went live on the system, incredibly cumbersome and frustrating. We also had no insight. There was never any conversation with leadership about why we were making this move. So as end users, we had no insight into what the value of the system was. We had no avenue to explore that. And those two factors ended up leading to the fact that we had no confidence in the system. We didn't know why we had migrated over. We didn't have any say into how it was being used. So our experience from our perspective was that one day our jobs just got significantly more annoying and difficult for no real reason. And it wasn't until I had the opportunity to sort of start exploring the back end, play around with configuration, really dive into what this platform can offer, that I began to get even an inkling of the value here. So essentially, this whole experience just led to a lot of resistance between the end users who were actually using it. We didn't have an incentive to explore the platform. We didn't have any ways or avenues in which to really get value from it, right? So after I was given some more free reign as an end user, sort of moving into more of admin territory, and I started to really understand what the value was in this, I eventually, spoiler alert, left that job and came to Litify. And really, I made the move because I wanted the opportunity to dive into this ecosystem more. But my favorite thing about my job, something that I love to do every day, my team and I spend a lot of our time figuring out how we can empower users within Litify. And it really all kind of culminates in this community. So all of that monologuing is to say, how can the community address some of these common adoption and engagement challenges? Well, as we all know, Litify orgs are not static for a few reasons, right? On Litify's side, we're consistently evolving our products. We're releasing new updates. But also, each environment is going to change over time as it adapts to the needs of the organization, to the needs of the users. And so it's really important that you have resources to help prop up that evolution on your own organizational level. And that's where the community comes in. So it ties in a few of these concepts we've been talking about. A single source of truth is a phrase we use a lot at Litify. And once we get single sign-on implemented, that's really going to help drive that a bit more. But you log into the community, and right away you have access to our knowledge database. You can communicate and collaborate with other folks using Litify, as well as Litify employees, like real experts on the topics. In addition to that, eventually we'll have ideas, so you'll be able to actively participate in our roadmap, which is pretty exciting. Support and LSAP existing all in one place as well. That's a huge repository of knowledge that will stay with you even as maybe, admins come and go from your firm. And eventually, of course, those live certifications and trainings that you'll be able to sign up for or direct your employees to. And another thing that I'll mention is what I like to call trickle-down adoption. The idea here being that your end users are not going to wake up one day and feel very passionate about Litify. That's just not going to happen. But you can start sort of inching them towards that by sort of being the change you wish to see. So in terms of what you can do today with the community to start drumming up that adoption and that engagement is to get involved. I asked earlier how many folks were already in the community. Few number of hands went up, but for everyone who hasn't, reach out to your CSM and we'll get you into the community. Poke around, check out the Collaborate tab especially, lots of cool discussions happening there. Check out our knowledge database. Keep your eyes out for those roadmap items we're talking about, like ideas. And then from what you learn from your own experience on the community, really let that flow down to all of your users. Take them through the community yourself. Show them the knowledge database. Show them where they can request new knowledge articles. Show them how they can collaborate with other admins at similar firms. And of course, eventually we will have this on-demand virtual training. I've talked about this a little bit already. It'll live on the community, but one thing I also want to mention about the Learning Hub that might be interesting to some of the folks here, we can create reports for you about who in your company is signing up for the Learning Hub, what courses they're completing, their progress as they move through it, and we can create a dynamic form that you can check regularly at your own pace that will update automatically, I believe, on a daily basis. If that's something you're interested in setting up, reach out to your CSM, and we'll whip that up for you. And that's our presentation.